Crash and burn.
Hey everyone. So today I'm facing this really sort of slightly sketchy forest and I can hear all sorts of movement in there. And now I know there's squirrels and shit in there because, you know, that's the type of critter that exists in this little grouping of trees. But there's also a lot of coyotes out here, so it freaks me out a little. So anyways, today I am going to be attempting to discuss and hopefully not get eaten or attacked, even though I can totally handle myself because I'm pretty much like a Canadian ninja, which segues into, I'm going to be discussing American Ninja 4. I believe this is called the Annihilation. This is the last in the series to feature Michael Dudikoff as Joe Armstrong. He did sit out the third one. He came back for the fourth. And whereas this movie, it feels in a lot of way that like the series doesn't have much left in the tank. But nonetheless, the one thing that I will say that this movie has going for it definitely is that the bad guy, the British dude in this, he is so honestly evil. And that torture room where he ends up hanging the big dude after shooting out the legs on the chair, and how bloody that place was, and how I genuinely believed he was evil. And the tone of this movie is ugly. Like when they have to hide from, I can't remember the bad guy, the little squirmy worm dude that's working for the British guy, I can't remember his name. When they have to hide from him in like the morgue, you know, it felt like Faces of Death-ish. And so this movie did have that going for it. Whereas it's true that like the tank was beginning to really run dry for the American Ninja series. The fact that this movie's tone is so almost kind of heavy, and it's really sort of morbid, and considering that the bad guys are genuinely bad and they're not just caricatures that you will find a lot of the time in canon films, especially what was left of canon films come the 90s. But with the bad guys in this, I believed them. I believed that they were evil, and I believed that they were going to detonate the nuclear device that they had somewhere in New York, and that Bradley and Dudikoff they have to jump in and they have to save the day. And I really like this movie, but other than the tone and the fact that the ninjas are really colorful, and that ninja training ground that they got on top of that cliffside, that mountain thing, and the whole ninja facility is really big. And then the sort of Mad Max vibe you get from the people, I believe that the place was called Sulphur Springs. And I liked how the Mad Max people war with the ninjas, and you've got the multicolored ninjas, and everything's really bright and colorful. But yeah, something about this movie just doesn't feel right. It almost feels like, I don't know, like this movie was sort of like a grade 12 ISU that they just had to get through because they were being paid, and Canon put up what was left of their money for this, and the director was like, oh shit, you know, we got to make a movie. So they did. And I like the action, I like the set pieces. Like I said, that mountaintop cliff ninja facility place that they had was absolutely rad. But this movie almost has too much of a made-for-TV quality. Aside from the completely morbid tone that I discussed earlier, there is something very hacky about this. And I suppose you could argue the same thing about all the American Ninjas, but it did feel that at least for the first couple of them, that there was a lot of hope, and that there was a lot of, they were very bright, and they seemed to have a sense of energy about them where, like, you know, they were all like kind of riding the lightning bolt of the success of the first one that did do really well for an independent film. And but by the third one with Blood Hunt, it was still sort of there, that sort of whimsical sense of youthful ambition as far as the filmmaking was concerned. But by this one, it just kind of feels like even Michael Dudikoff seems tired. You know, his character Joe, he's working for the Peace Corps, he's teaching these kids in whatever developing country he's in about the environment around him, and it's cool and everything, and I even believe him as a teacher, but it just sort of feels like leftovers, I guess. So yeah, so I think I will leave it there. So thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed American Ninja 4, The Annihilation. God, I hope it's called The Annihilation, because if not, I'm going to look really stupid because I've said that a couple times now. But yeah, like always, if you like this review, don't forget to do something nice for somebody. But most importantly, please don't forget that the world is a much better place because you are in it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good day. Or night, or whatever it is where you are. I hope it's good. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe. And we will see you guys really soon.